Hello, I'm Asher, and I'm a potty of the Wally Show. I'm a 12-year-old from Hong Kong, and you guys all seem to like a British accent, so hopefully mine's better than Becca's. Here's your Wally Show precast.
Nicely done, Asher. Spitspot.
I don't think it's better than mine, though.
Oh, that was not bad, though. I'll give you credit for that.
Thank you.
Nicely done.
Thank you. That just rolled off my tongue.
If you would like to be the person that introduces the Wally Show precast, like Asher just did, you can get the WayFM app, and then you can leave us a message and say something about the show, introduce the show, but say who you are and where you're a potty from, because I love hearing that. Like potties in Hong Kong, like Asher is there. That's kind of cool. We're all over the world. We're global.
It's tip-top.
Cheerio.
I'm using it.
On the bonnet. Okay. You know what? We were talking about something serious at the end of the show about how you view God. You'll hear this later on in the podcast, obviously. But I didn't get a chance to go to the people on the show. Like Becca worked hers into a phone call because you can't keep her out of a conversation. But
yeah, I'm the one that has a problem with that. It's me. You're totally right.
But Zach and Becca, we're filling in a blank, okay? Or Betty. Zach and Betty, you over there, the one right across from me. My favorite. Sorry. But we didn't get a chance to hear their fill in the blank of I wish God, because the concept is how you see God, how you answer that question. It might give you some insight into how you view God. So I'm curious, Betty Rock, what would yours be?
I wish God wouldn't expect so much of me.
Really? That's fascinating.
But before I get into this, I know everything that's the right way. So I don't want to get any emails. I don't want to get people saying, well, you know that God doesn't. I know.
No, I know, but honestly, this is like a judgment-free zone, and even I'm reserving judgment. But like, that's the whole idea of this, is to be honest about it and to work through that. So you think that God has massive expectations on you that you are not meeting?
Yeah.
You do? Really?
Yeah.
That's interesting. Do you kind of
Here we go.
See that with me? Like I know I hold a high place in your your world and in your esteem. Do you think that you're not meeting my needs?
Are you putting yourself on the same level as God and mine?
No, but I'm just trying to see if it's a pattern in your life. Do you see that? Do you think that you don't meet people's expectations, like maybe your dad or your mom?
No.
Okay, so just me and God.
I exceed their and yours I could care less about. So those are no problems.
So where do you think that you are short on that then? I'm curious.
Just because you're supposed to be this perfect person, and I'm bad about comparing myself to everyone and their moms, and I never am the person that I want to be. When everyone else seems to be so held together and happy, and no matter what's happening in their lives, they're always, put a smile on my face, I'm so happy to be you, and it's so wonderful, and I'm patient, and God is kind.
But that's the problem, is that
I don't feel that way.
Right. We're comparing how we feel on the inside to how people act on the outside.
Or how they post on Facebook.
Yeah, that's an unfair comparison that I totally do on a daily basis, where, and like you were saying, people email me about things, and they're like, well, I just pray all the time. And I'm like, I don't know that you do. Not that I'm going to judge that, but you just really can't compare how you feel on the inside and the shortcomings you have to smiling faces that tell you they have it all together.
Well, it's interesting because I guarantee you, though, that there are people that look at you and go, oh, wow, she's got it all together. Like, she's so confident. She's so this, she's so that, because of how you are, like, on the show or whatever. And so I know there are people that are looking at you the exact same way, thinking, man, she's got this. And they're the ones feeling like, I don't have this. I think the point is that we all, at some point deep down inside, don't have it, you know? And we'd like to think that we have it all together, but we don't. We're all kind of that mess inside. But that surprises me, actually, that you feel that way. Because I'm one of those people that's like, oh, Betty Rock's got this. She's got it all together. I know it's weird, huh? But I think that.
That's not what I get from you, but
no,
okay.
I respect you. I do. I love you, man. It's like I have a very high. I have
Don't say expectation.
No. No, you're never gonna hit those. But no, I have a very high opinion of you, is what I would say.
Thank you.
Yeah. So there you go.
Thank you.
All right. Well, Zach, what is your fill in the blank for that?
I have two I'm going between. I'm going to go with...
You can go with both of them if you want, and we'll decide which is the right one.
Okay. I wish God would answer questions straight up instead of in riddles sometimes.
Yes.
Like, when you're reading the Bible, like, people ask him these very straightforward questions,
Yeah.
like looking for concrete definitions about things, and he goes into stories.
Yeah.
Or he,
Yeah,
like,
Jesus did that all the time.
he never he just avoids giving the formula. Like, we want the 3 steps to do this, or the 5 ways to do that, or we want the exact plan, and it's never ever that. It's always, I don't know, who do you say I am?
Yeah, exactly.
I'm asking you.
Well, that's because God's a consultant. It's when it comes down, because that's what all radio consultants do. I don't know. How does it make you feel? I don't know. That's why I'm asking you, and I pay you. Gah. Yeah, I think that had to be so frustrating too. Like, Master, what of these is the greatest commandment? Well, there's a guy in a field holding a pig. No! How is that even relevant?
Or in that case, he gave 2.
Yes.
Which is great. That's exactly what I do to you, and you hate it.
Yes, exactly. No, that's a good one, man. And maybe the answer is that we have to have something in it. Like, you can't just be told everything, and that you've got to figure some of this stuff out. I don't know why. It would seem like some clear direction might be one of the things that would be good, because we're all in business. You constantly want, better communication and clearer communication. And so we expect that of God, whereas God is definitely more nebulous. And I think he's part of the seek me and you shall find. And it's part of that seeking and that journey that makes the answer better, maybe ultimately.
And there's something to be said too about when you figure something out yourself, you really do have skin in the game. Like when he told the story of the Good Samaritan, and he's like, "Now, which one of those is the neighbor?" And the guy's like, I got it, I figured it out." You know, and I think that sticks with you longer. And maybe he just knew that the people he was talking to were dumb.
Yes.
And if we know bare minimums of everything, that's what we aim for.
That's very true.
That kind of defeats like, he's looking for the right heart, not for accomplishing the tasks.
I mean, because there are a bunch of places in the Bible too where people are asking him, like, what's the least I need to do? And he's like, no, you need to go beyond all of that, with his stories. The Good Samaritan is one of those stories too, where it was like loving way beyond what they thought was commanded to do.
They're like, who's my neighbor? I just want to love that person. That's it.
Just that one person. Yeah. And God was telling them, through Jesus was telling them, it's everybody, and it's even. And then he went even bigger, because it's like, even the people you despise, the people you will walk around their part of the country so you don't have to even see them or associate with them, those are the people that you are supposed to love as well. Like, it's mind-blowing. And so maybe that's why I did it. Maybe he does have this whole thing figured out. Yeah, weird. Maybe Zach doesn't know best.
I certainly don't.
What is your other one that you were wrestling with?
My other one is just I feel like we're all wired in reverse. Like, what we love is bad for us, and what we hate is
Cheetos,
good for us. Vegetables.
Broccoli.
Exactly. And I just wish that switch could be flipped. And I think that happens when we get to, I think that's part of our overall journey. But it's just frustrating. Like, why does everything have to be a battle?
Yeah.
Why couldn't I have just been wired correctly in the factory, and where I just love the things that are good for me and good for others? And
I guess we were initially, but then sin altered all of that. And so now we struggle with that. I mean, Paul, wrote that all those years ago. Why do I do the things I don't want to do, and I don't do the things I know I should do? So it's an age-old battle, but you're right. We're kind of twisted. The wires are twisted inside, for sure.
We're just broken.
Because it'd be so easy too. I mean, it's like, you're supposed to eat well. Well, eat well. It doesn't work that way. You're not supposed to cheat on your wife, but people cheat on their wives, and stuff. And so, why do we seek these things out that we know? Like drugs is another one. No one, or smoking is a great example. Everybody by now knows that smoking is bad for you, but you still do it. And why? Well, I'm going to risk it, because I get some sort of pleasure out of this or whatever. And so people do it regardless of the personal detriment to them. And but you're right, we're wired that way for whatever reason. I have always been curious as why God and this is going to sound maybe flippant inside of this, but why God created a being that has to eat food to survive and then gets gassy. Like, there's absolutely no, when we build cars, our goal is to make cars with the least amount of emissions as possible. But why did God, knowing all this, make something that toots? Honestly, there's no reason that you needed to do that, other than maybe he finds it funny, but you don't need that. He could have made us eat something, and then it just evaporates in your body. It didn't even have to be processed like it's processed to create gas, right? Does anybody else ever wonder that?
Well, I mean, he saw the bigger picture and he knew that we need that time in the bathroom to play Candy Crush.
Maybe.
Yeah. so-
Maybe. I just thought of it. Oh my goodness. The Sistine Chapel with God's hand.
What?
That was the first pull my finger.
Oh my goodness.
That's what that is. I never realized that till in this moment. That is absolutely amazing.
So sacrilegious.
Wally
I know.
at allwally.com.
Yes.
Well, I mean, these are the questions. These are the things that we talk about, the things that I wonder sometimes aloud and probably shouldn't. So, you know what? We were deep for a second, and then we had to crawl out of that. And that's what we actually did right there.
Classic Wally.
There it is. Nailed it. All right, remember, if you want to be the person that intros the precast, you can do so by getting the WayFM app. It's either in the Android market or the iTunes store. And what's the best way when you get that? When you get the app, what's the best way to do that?
Just hit the new message icon, and then there's a microphone. Hit that, record it, and then leave a comment and use the word potty in there. Poddie.
There you go.
Somewhere. I'm actually searching both because it should be Y. Anyway, and then we'll get it in there.
All right, so there you go. That is going to do it for your precast today. This is the Wally Show, and I got to go to the road show over the weekend, which was a lot of fun. I always enjoy getting out to concerts and stuff and seeing, a few of the people I haven't seen for a while. Like I was texting Jeremy Camp, like, hey, man, where are you? He's like, oh, I'm over here. We should hook up. Never did. Never did. And then, then he texts me like the next day, hey, bro, sorry I missed you. Where were you? I'm like, I was at the end of the catwalk. All you had to do was look down, but he didn't make it all the way to the end of the catwalk. He kind of stayed in the middle. But a couple of the other guys came down, like Derek Minor. Do you know him, rapper Derek Minor? And he was someone that was killing it. And I was like, oh, don't come to the end of the catwalk. Please don't come to the end of the catwalk. Because he's like looking at people, and I was over there kind of bopping, white guy rap bopping, and I'm like, yeah, this is good. Uh-oh, here he comes. And I just stopped because I'm like, I'm going to look so uncool. And he looks straight down at me. And I'm like, yo, like it was a really awkward situation. But he was amazing, man. Like he absolutely killed it. And then the surprise of the night for me, I think, because every time I see him, I like him even more. I like him as a person, and I've always thought he has a great voice. But then when you see him live, amazing. Danny Goki, of all people, came out with just a piano and a guitar player, and just vocally own this place. It's crazy because you know how like bands, they all have background tracks that they sing along with and stuff, and some people actually kind of sing over their lead track and stuff, and he's just none of that. Like he is just all voice, and he just killed it. And I was sitting there thinking, like, and I've told him this, and I don't know if it was a compliment one time. I saw him at a thing, and I said, you are this generation's Michael Bolton. Not a compliment?
No.
Really?
I wouldn't take it as one.
Yeah, but I meant it as one because back in the day, Michael Bolton was, I know he's become a punchline now, but back in the day, he was huge, and their style is very similar.
So you're telling Danny Goki that he's soon to be a has-been?
Yes, not in so many words,
okay.
and I didn't mean it that way. I just meant that he has the potential to be that big, iconic voice.
You could have said anybody.
I know, but here, look, listen to this, okay? This is Michael Bolton from back in the day. You instantly know it's him. Same with Goki. And it's the same kind of vibe musically, Like, are you guys not feeling this?
I'm kind of surprised. Like, I kind of see what you're saying.
Thank you.
I hate that.
Yeah, and it goes on too. Like, listen to this. See, you're feeling it now. Yeah?
It's like power ballads.
Yes, exactly. But he's so good at them, And so I truly, honest, truthful, meant it as a compliment. But maybe because, like, I said it to him in front of, like, Toby Mac. And Toby kind of goes, oh, maybe that affected the compliment a little bit. So anyway, I think the guy's phenomenal. And if you get a chance to see him, whether it's on Roadshow or just in general, he's totally worth seeing. This is the Wally Show, and Zach is a student of comedy. He loves comedy, loves the science of comedy, and studies it. And so when Zach says something's funny, then I know there's a good chance that it's not. And no, there's a good chance that it really is. And so he came across a bunch of like one-liners, and he loves pun-type humor. Is that accurate? Like, you like punny stuff?
I can appreciate it.
Yeah, you do it a lot.
Good wordplay.
Yeah, you do that a lot.
Do
Loves
I?
that. Oh yeah.
Do I?
Yeah, you are the pun guy.
Really?
Yeah, you're a fun
You're the
guy.
dad of the group.
Oh.
And not because we look up to you as a father figure, but because you tell terrible dad jokes.
Oh no!
But I do
really?
it tongue in cheek, right?
If it doesn't come off that way, it's hard. It's kind of like wearing an ironic T-shirt that no one sees as ironic, except they go, "Oh, you're lame."
Yeah,
But
exactly.
for whatever they say, I find you hilarious. You make me laugh. You do. You make me laugh. So we're gonna put Zach in the Chuckle Hut. Okay, he's gonna do stand up right now. He's headlining the Chuckle Hut, which is really exciting. So
Oh boy.
so let's hear some one-liners, Zach, like your favorites.
These are puns from the internet, not mine.
Okay, fantastic. Yeah, his would be more heady.
I gave away all my dead batteries today, free of charge. Get it?
You get it? Because they're
Yes,
dead.
I got it.
I got
Okay,
it.
that's good.
Do you want sympathy laughs on these?
No.
Okay,
Not
okay.
needed. Genuine laughs are fine. What's the worst thing about ancient history class?
Man, I don't know.
The teachers tend to babble on.
Because Babylon.
Yeah, I got it.
Okay. Ancient Babylon.
you.
That's good stuff.
When my wife told me to stop impersonating a flamingo, I had to put my foot down. It's good stuff.
Because they
Yeah.
got 1 foot up.
Right, because the
And so
flamingo.
then you put
put it.
It's still bad.
What? Are no one else's eyes watering?
These are so good.
Oh, my
I'm laughing
goodness.
because it's so pathetic.
They're from the internet. That's how you know they're good.
Oh my goodness. These are jokes that are going to make it to the office today for people, man.
Oh, yeah.
So nicely done. That's great.
How many optometrists does it take to change a light bulb?
Oh, I
How
have
many?
no idea.
1 or 2. 1.
Oh,
Or two.
Better one, better two. Oh, these are fantastic. Oh my goodness, you're gonna be here all week, aren't you?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Did you hear about the new
Oh,
restaurant
he's
on the
still
moon?
going?
Oh, I didn't know.
The food is great, but there's just no atmosphere.
Because there's no gravity or oxygen up there. No
Yeah,
oxygen.
I'm done.
Atmosphere.
This is bad.
You should, next time we do this, because we're going to do this a lot, you should have to do them in the dad voice of Gary.
Oh,
from Ew.
that'll make it better.
Let's try one like that, because you might get rock on your side.
Hey, how do you find Will Smith in the snow?
How?
You look for the Fresh Prince.
Yes, it's
That
way
is
better.
good.
It is way better.
Way
It's really
better
good.
as
I
Gary.
like it.
Yeah, you're gonna have to do him next time as Gary. But I think we found a bit here.
The Wally Show news is simply perspicacious.
I don't know what that means, but I'm gonna Google it.
It's the Wally Show news.
And Becca's gonna get you caught up right now with what's going on. What's happening?
There's another round of voting this weekend. Hillary
Yay.
Clinton edged out Bernie Sanders.
No,
I know, it's like
no.
cue impression.
Yeah, exactly. You know, it was really tough that Hillary beat me like that, but I'm a fighter. I'm a fighter.
Nailed it.
Yeah, nailed it. Nailed my Bernie.
That was in the Democratic caucus in Nevada, while Donald Trump took the top spot in the North Carolina primaries.
Still in there.
South
swinging.
Carolina?
South Carolina. Totally what I meant. Thank you, Zach.
But you know something there, Zach. You corrected her, but don't do that because I am awesome in any Carolina.
Is that Trump or Bernie?
It's both.
Okay.
It's Turney. That's my new one.
But Trump was a good 10%.
I'm awesome. That's Trump.
Oh, thank you. He was a good 10 percentage points ahead of Rubio, who came in second.
Oh, my
Cruz
goodness.
came in third. And after
goodness.
the primaries, Jeb Bush announced that he was ending his campaign.
I heard that Trump did not do a victory lap, which I did not expect. I expected Trump to go, yeah, forced him out, or whatever.
Still sounds like Bernie.
No, that was Trump. That was Trump. But because there's not a lot of love lost between those two, and I thought he was actually more gracious than I. At least
Yeah,
I didn't
he's
see
had
anything
like
bad.
the playground bully kind of thing going on with Jeb. So
For sure. And
that's
so he
interesting.
kind of took the high road for him, which is weird.
Or it was just the quiet smirk, knowing everyone knew.
No, his Twitter account was broken. He forgot his password.
Yes, that's.
I
I'm
would
sure
be
that's
in there
it.
making fun of Jeb, but I forgot my password. Oh wait, it's billionaire.
While politicians continue to battle it out to see who will be our next president, one little girl is not ready for Obama to be out of office. This is after her mom told her that a president can only serve 2 terms.
It's okay. We got to vote for another president.
I'm not ready for a new one. I am. That is amazing. No, where am I going to have to buy health care?
And she's 5 years old, so it's not like she knows a ton about politics, but
That's
still
funny.
adorable. And finally, it's interesting to hear from those who live to be over 100 and what they consider to be the secret of living longer. A woman named Flossie turned 110 the other day.
Wow.
And a local reporter tried to find out what her secret was.
I am tired.
That's actually, I heard your favorite activity here is to take a little nap.
Take a nap many times as I can.
Are you excited for your party?
Not one bit.
Oh, that is awesome. Like, I could see her halfway through that just being like, like, that does not sound fun. Honestly, being 110, my grandmother is holding on to be 100. She's 99 and she just wants to get to 100. Like, that's her goal. And then after that, I think she's just gonna okay, I'm done here. But that does not sound, living that long does not sound fun to
Does
me.
that mean that if she's 110 that she was born in 1906?
That's crazy. Yeah.
1906.
Yeah.
That is crazy.
But imagine the things that woman has seen, though. Like,
my
that's
goodness.
what's crazy. Like, old people have great stories a lot of times when they're not napping, and that is that lady has seen everything. You know, she's seen like the car come into existence, seen electricity in houses. Sadly, she lived through all of the crazy racial stuff, but now sees the other side of it is getting better and progressing. She's seen man walk on the moon. Like, I mean, just the amount of things she's seen. A microwave. She's seen a microwave go from this giant thing to this little tiny thing in your house.
That means
TV.
in the 50s, she was close to 50.
Yeah, like, I mean, like,
That's weird.
and when you think about how far we jumped technologically, like in just even 10 years, like, that's amazing to me. Now, it would take her a while to tell you all those stories, which would be great, like, fun listening to it.
She doesn't sound too willing.
Yeah, she's like, I just want a nap. I love that.
Is that your birdie again?
That was her.
Anything you can do, I can do better. I can do anything better than you.
This is the Wally Show, and it's time for boys versus girls. Zach and I taking on the ladies, and if your gender wins, you'll get to call and win a prize. And this is why I respect Becca. I did not even ask for what the standings were, and Becca just offered up boys up 2 to nothing. So good job. Thank you.
You know what's really sad is when the girls are ahead, you're like, I don't trust it because Becca's keeping track of the score. That's not right. But when the boys are up, you think it's totally legit. And you say you respect me.
I second that.
Real quick, refresh my memory when I could have said that, because I don't think the girls have been ahead in like 3 years, right? Okay, so it's been a while.
It's been a bit.
Okay,
but
been a
it's
while.
happened.
And it could happen today. Maybe this whole thing of you just being open and honest is going to help you, in this game here. So here we go. Question number 1. In hours and minutes, what is the combined length of the 3 Lord of the Rings movies? I've never seen one of them.
3 lifetimes.
Yeah, I tried to watch one once. And I was like, okay.
Now, is this the theatrical release, or are we talking extended editions, directors, this and that, uncut?
It says right here, I don't know. I have no idea. Just the video. You went to the video store, you picked up that one. So I have no idea.
So what did you say, in hours and minutes?
Hours and minutes.
Of the 3, right?
Yes.
Okay.
All together.
3, 2, 1. What's your answer?
Okay, I
Wally.
got one. 10 and a half.
Okay. I said 12 hours and 32 minutes.
What are you guys watching?
32. Well, I think they're like over 3 hours each movie or something. I think so.
I guess way low. I said 7 hours and 14
Oh,
minutes.
Becca, 7.
That's
Zach.
wishful thinking.
Yeah, that was one of them.
I said 10 hours, 11 minutes.
10 hours, 11 minutes.
But maybe we're all over.
Oh, wow. You said 10, 11, and I said 10 and a half. That's not good. Okay.
Nope.
The actual answer is, oh, my goodness gracious.
What is it?
9 hours and 18 minutes. Becca! Oh,
Who got the first question right at the game?
Becca
The girls.
did. Nuts. I would if I had said 9, I would have had it. All right, so here we go. 1-0. The girls are in the lead. So, it could be the girls' day today, but we still have 2 more questions to go. And we'll find out who wins this thing within 15 right here on The Wally Show.
Anything you can do, I can do better. I can do anything better than you.
This is The Wally Show, and it's boys versus girls. And in a shocking twist here, the girls are in the lead 1-0, which means if they get 1 or 2 more of these questions right, then only women can call to claim the prize. So we'll see how this goes. Question number 2. In what year did the Big Mac, or did McDonald's introduce the Big Mac nationwide?
Oh, I feel like this is a question for Wally.
No, I don't know this one, because they've been a chain for a while, this, that, and the other, but who knows when the Big Mac itself came out, rolled out nationwide to people. So everybody get your answers down. Okay.
Your noise.
That was my thinking noise.
There's a song about the Big Mac, right?
Yeah.
Did that come out at the same time?
I don't know. That's the thing. 2 all beef patty, special sauce, lettuce, cheese, pickles, onion, sesame on a sesame seed bun. I remember that from a kid, but I don't remember if it was new to then or not. So here we go. Betty Rock, what do you say?
81.
1981. Okay, that's a good guess. A little late. Burker.
1954.
You might be early. You're probably going to be early, so that's good. It worked for you last time.
No.
Zach.
I said 1981 as well.
Did you really?
Uh-oh.
This is good news. This is good news because for the first time, I'm ahead of Becca. I'm in the middle. I had 1968 because I was born in 68. I thought it was 71, but I could be wrong.
We basically can't lose.
I know that. I would think not. So here we go. The actual answer is. Oh my gosh! I got it right on the money.
No,
I got it right on the money.
That's 2 points.
That's worth 2.
Goodness.
Boys go in the lead 2-1. No one saw that coming, least of all me. Oh my goodness.
It's that old?
This is the first time I went with my God. I was going to say 71 and I switched to the 68 and it paid off. Oh my goodness.
That's really, really old.
No, it's not. It's not that old. No, it's really
old.
It's not that old. It's really it's right about right. It's the right age for something.
Holy cow.
Yeah, I was born in 68. All right, 2-1. Guys are in the lead, so here we go.
Girls do not look happy about that.
No, they don't. They're not celebrating the victory here. In feet and inches, what is the length of the longest record human beard? Human beard.
Okay.
Yeah, like Zach is. Did you just put a pen under your chin?
I was just
Becca.
If I had a beard, how long would it be? I have to visualize things.
I understand that. Okay, so in feet and inches. Everybody get your guesses down.
I wish I could phone a friend, and that friend being 4-year-old Zach, who memorized the Guinness Book of World Records.
But the problem is, the only thing you remember are the 2 heavy guys on the motorcycles.
Yes, and then the long fingernails that curled around.
Yeah, that's all I remember too. That's all anyone remembers. All right, so let's start with older Zach. What'd you say?
I said 8'4".
No way. That is not what you put.
Stand.
That's what I put.
Really?
Yes.
Oh my
Look at that.
I hate this.
What did you put?
8'3". What'd you write, Rock?
6'12" inches.
Oh. Wait.
I'm getting very exact.
No, you 6'12" inches.
It could be just a centimeter off, and I want to make because if I put 7 feet, then you're gonna count it against me.
It's no 6'12" inches. 6'12" inches
Give me
is
the
7
answer.
inches.
Give me the
it's
answer.
7 feet. Wait, we have to agree on this first. It's 7 feet is your answer.
Not technically.
Unless you're a centimeter off.
But then that's the metric system. It doesn't count.
What is
All
it?
right. So the answer is, oh my goodness, 17 feet 6 inches.
Uh-oh.
That means we tie that one.
Yeah.
Which means boys
Boys
win.
win. Yes, boys won it. Your guess of 6'12" was still kind of a winner in my book, but we're not going to be able to give that to you as much as I would like to. Okay. All right, so that means only guys can call to win your prize. Up 3 on the total here. 877-91-WALLY is your number. 877-91-WALLY. You'll get a question from the things that happened during that game. And you will have a chance at winning a prize, but only if you're a guy can you call right now.
Anything you can do, I can do better. I can do anything better than you.
This is the Wally Show, and it's a great day to be a guy as the guys won boys versus girls again, up 3-0 in the overall standings. So that means only guys can call, and we got Kevin here trying to win this thing. So Kevin, think back to the last question. What was Betty's guess in feet and inches for how long is the world record longest beard?
Oh, I thought it was going to be the right answer, not the wrong answer. 6 feet, 12 inches, which would have been 7 feet.
That's exactly it. There you go. No, Rock, I am not going to. That's a winner for the record. Nicely done. You win for the most creative answer ever.
Thank you. I try to get very, very specific.
I am not going to make fun of you.
I about died when I heard that.
Yeah, but apparently Kevin is. No, it made me laugh because 6 foot 12 inches is 7 feet.
But the thing is the question said, and I have to watch what you say.
Right.
You said in feet and inches.
Yes.
So I said, okay, I think it's got to be somewhere around 7.
Right.
So I'm going to go with 6 feet, 12 inches.
With a non-answer. Like it's a
That is an answer.
No, 6 feet 12 doesn't benefit you.
Correct.
Yeah, because it's in inches, and you said inches. So I thought, the answer has to be
6 feet
inches.
11 inches or 7 feet?
I could have gone under or over. I had my heart set. You're making fun. You said you weren't, and now you are.
Walking through the process, just trying to get into that head there. Just trying to get into that head space.
You should be easily able to understand everything that I've just said. Well, because you're on the same level as me. And what was it that I got?
That's not helping. That's not helping. It was your IQ. All right, so congratulations, Kevin. You are the big winner today.
Thank you, sir.
Monday School is a chance for Wally to share what he learned at church and prove that he went.
Irony alert, I did not go this week because I was traveling, and so Becca's handling the Monday school duties. So what you got?
We continue talking about God's attributes, and this week we talked about God's faithfulness, which is a hard attribute to kind of compare to any humans we know, because every human in your life is going to let you down at some point. Even if you have a perfect relationship with someone, they're not going to meet expectations all the time.
Yeah, like if this Monday school stinks, then Becca will not have met my expectations.
You didn't have to say that.
So far, you're killing it.
Oh, great. Thank you. We looked at Lamentations 3, the whole chapter, and it's basically Jeremiah just lamenting. He goes for 20 verses, and he's saying things like, he has led me into darkness, shutting out all light. He's turned his hand against me again and again all day long. Peace has been stripped away. I've forgotten what prosperity is. I cry out, my splendor is gone. Everything I had hoped for from the Lord is lost.
Okay, he's dark. Get
dark,
it.
yeah.
That's like teenage girl poems.
Definitely. He's just done. Everything's going wrong. And you might wonder, well, how does this show God's faithfulness? Well, after 20 verses of being completely honest in prayer, which is good because God can handle that, he turns around and in the next 3 verses says, "Yet I still dare to hope when I remember the faithful love of the Lord never ends. His mercy never cease. Great is his faithfulness."
That's cool.
And you might think, well, why the change? Why is Jeremiah going for 20 verses on being dark and broody and saying everything is wrong and then coming back and still saying that God is faithful? Well, Jeremiah was experiencing that tug of war that all of us have between feeling and knowing. You feel that life is completely failing you. You feel that everything's going wrong, but you know that God is faithful because he's been faithful in the past. And God is always faithful, but that doesn't always mean that you get what you want. It doesn't always mean life's going to be roses, but it does mean that he's finishing his work in you. He's still working in you, even when life seems to tell you that he's not there. And even in the midst of everything, Jeremiah knew that because he could look back on everything that God had done for him. And in that dark place, he still knew that God was faithful.
But you're right, it's that knowing it. Like, because sometimes knowing it isn't enough for you. You know it in the back of your mind, but you say this and that and the other. So when you fully understand that and you know and you believe and you trust in his faithfulness and his provision when you've seen it in your life in the past, then that's where your faith grows.
Here's what's happening in the world today. It's the Wally Show News.
And Becca is going to get you caught up with what's going on right now.
On Saturday night, there was a series of shootings in Michigan that took the lives of 6 people. Yeah. The shooter was an Uber driver, and between shootings, he would pick passengers up and drive them to their destination. It was just bizarre.
That's psychotic.
Exactly. It lasted for hours. And of course, there's always the question of why. Why would anyone do this? Well, one Uber passenger that got a ride from the shooter before the attacks began said that the man received a phone call, and after that, everything seemed to change.
Oh, really?
Yeah. It's saying that he started driving erratically. He was all over the road, and other people who were passengers said the same thing.
We were kind of driving through medians, driving through the lawn, speeding along, and then finally, once he came to a stop, I jumped out of the car and ran away.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So, because I had pictured it as like really sociopathic, where it's like, okay, he does this shooting, then he drives normal, like, hey, how you doing? I'm going to give you a ride, and like just completely different. So he was affected the entire time.
Right, exactly.
Oh,
So
wow.
he'll be in court today. The Consumer Product Safety Commission is beginning to crack down on hoverboards. They urged retailers and manufacturers this week to make sure that their scooters met safety standards that they've now come up with. But so far, no hoverboards have met those standards. None. Swagway, which is one of the biggest retailers for this, they told customers to stop using their boards in the meantime until they figure all of this out. No. Apparently, in the past 2.5 months, there have been 52 fires that have caused $2 million in property damage, all from hoverboards.
I wanted to buy a hoverboard, truth be told, and because of the fire warning or the fire danger, I didn't buy one because I just thought it would be fun. I wanted to try one, but it's not worth burning down my home to have a hoverboard. You know,
Right.
And so I get that where you should be leery of it.
And when these first came out, they didn't really have anything in place. So hopefully this will just kind of make these standards available to everyone, and the new ones that are made will be better.
They have to get this worked out, honestly, because I am tired of walking. Like, I don't ever want to walk anywhere again when there is hoverboard technology. No one should ever have to walk again. There you go. Get it fixed.
Fact. All right. And finally, even though this next story's fire likely wasn't caused by a hoverboard, it was still scary when a 5-year-old's house in New Orleans caught fire, especially since the little girl lives with her grandmother who's blind.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, scary situation all around. But thankfully, the little girl had just learned about fire safety during a field trip, and she actually led her blind grandmother out of the house and saved their lives.
Look at that. See, that stuff pays off for you as a kid. Does anybody, there's no way that you don't remember stop, drop, and roll. Exactly. See? Yeah, that stuff works, apparently. Or, okay, a fire. You got a fire raging in your house, Betty Rock. Fire everywhere, hot. You've got Clem under your arm. You got her in a little wet blanket to make sure she's safe, and her fur's not going to go up in smoke. What are you supposed to do in the house to get out?
Crawl, because oxygen is at the bottom.
Yes!
And then when you get to the door,
top.
what do you do to touch it to test it?
You make sure it's not hot.
You just gave her the answer. You touch it to test it.
With the back of your hand.
You make sure that it's not hot, because if it is hot, that means the fire's behind it.
There you go. Little fire safety, because
I got it
we care.
anyways. I would have gotten it
That's
anyways.
right. You would have. Yeah, the more you know, right there. We just had one of those moments here on the Wally Show. Well, that's your news for this hour. Thank you, Miss Becca. We are gonna read some email. Even though I don't read well, I think I might be dyslexic. So please don't make fun of the way I read. Wally at allwally.com is how you can email me with whatever's on your mind, like these good people did. Rebecca says, hey, my name is Becca, my daughter Sarah, 6, and son Connor, 11. Love your show. They were having a disagreement, though, today. Connor saw Wally at night at Joy sometime back, and he says that he is taller than Wally. What? However, Sarah disagrees. She thinks Wally is way cool, and he must be like 10 feet tall. Her words, not mine. So then she asked me to email you and settle this. Yes, Sarah, I am 10 feet tall.
Nope.
Yeah.
When your mouth is open.
Yeah, sadly, Sarah, I am only 5'6", so there's a good chance that your brother at 11 years old is taller than me, sadly. So there you go. This is kind of cool. It was addressed to all of us and says, I requested a Bible, and because we do free Bibles, you know, if you need one, and you can check that out at allwally.com. But so I requested a Bible as soon as I had heard the promo, but I offered the lamest reason as to why I was requesting it. Based on my weak rationale, I was convinced I wouldn't receive one, and I had resigned myself to the idea that I would have to find another avenue. However, yesterday when I checked the mail, there was this package from the Wally Show. Alone in my mailbox, I clutched the manila bubble-wrapped envelope to my chest with the unavoidable smile and said aloud, a Bible. They sent me a Bible. Like, how cool is that somebody gets that excited over it? And then if you go on to read the rest of her story, her life has been kind of a mess, and finding God has not been a typical easy path for her, and so this is something that's going to help her. So that's why I love the fact that we can do that and be part of that kind of joy.
And that's a cool thing. When we did helped with a shipment of Bibles, the reasons were all over the place. Some people were like, look, I've been going through a really hard time. I don't have the money to afford my own. Other people are like, I just want a Bible.
Yeah.
And that's the cool part, is that we do this service online.
And we couldn't do this without people like Tyndale, who, help us do that. They provide the Bibles for us to mail to people because they know how important it is to get the Word of God into people's lives. It's the living, breathing Word of God. This is how you find out who God is. You find out about His promises, and then you see those happen in your life, and you see that there's truth to all of that, and it just makes your faith grow, and it's important to be in the Word. So there you go. You can check that out at allwally.com, or if you ever want to email me, wally@allwally.com as well. This is the Wally Show, and in life we all have certain deal breakers where it's like, yeah, that's just crossing a line for me. I'm out for whatever that situation is. But I was surprised to hear about a deal breaker that Becca, one of your friends, has.
Yeah, it's a couple that we know, and they just got engaged, and she wanted to keep her last name. And he said, nope, that's a deal breaker. There's no way. I really need you to take my last name.
Wow, that's drawing the line in the sand.
It
is. You got a year or so or more invested in this relationship, and then to just be like, yeah, that's it for me. No, I'm pulling the cord on that one.
Right. And so we were in a group of friends, and it was funny because I took her side in that one.
What?
Yeah. What? You're surprised?
Yeah. No, not surprised. Girl code.
Yeah, a little bit of girl code. But also, I know what a hassle it is to change your name when you're a woman and you get married.
You are right. It is tough to love your husband. 100%.
That is not related at all.
Okay.
And B, she is a little bit older, and she's established in her career. She owns her own business, and there are just certain things that it's not only a hassle to change it legally, but to change it in all the relationships you have.
So, like, the business is named after her, so it would definitely affect it that way.
Oh, it's not?
No.
Weird. So it wouldn't be that problematic.
But you have connections and stuff.
Right.
I remember, so when I got married, I was just out of college, so I was submitting resumes everywhere, and I had this deep concern of, well, what if people don't know that this person and this person are the same person that I just got married? What if it ruins all these connections for me?
Yeah.
You put the maiden name like in parentheses, or hyphenate for the transition period or something?
But that's a hassle.
There's a reason that God set it up this way. That you would take his last name. I think it's in the Bible.
Look,
but no.
I never wanted to keep my maiden name. I was all on board for taking Joey's name. I like that makes us a unit. But I feel like there are good reasons for women to keep their own names. And I feel that if you have a good reason, there's no problem with that.
When I got married 23 years ago, being young and getting married, I would have been hurt by that. If my wife said, I want to keep my name, I would have been hurt. Would it have been a deal breaker for me? No, because I love her madly. But it would have hurt me because there was something about the tradition of that. And it's not even like, oh, keep my lineage going. And maybe that's what it was initially. I don't even know where the tradition came from. But I think just, social, or not socially, but tradition-wise, I think it would have hurt my feelings. Being older, and if, like, say something had happened to her and I remarried or whatever, I totally understand that more, like keeping your name. But to me, when you're starting out together, it is, you're taking this wife and you become this new thing and stuff. But I guess it's a big deal for women trying to hold on to their independence or something. I don't know.
Maybe, but to me, it's not even an independence thing. It's just keeping those connections
or their
that
identity.
You had. Their identity, yeah. Because it's weird to have to learn how to go by a new name.
But didn't you like writing your new name all the time?
Well, I did, but not everybody has that experience.
I think I'd be more likely to change my name than to be okay with having two different last names.
Of course you would. You're half girl.
Well, my last name's hard to spell. It doesn't make any sense anyway. So, but having two different names in the same house, and then when you have kids, you're like, which one do you name them after? And I feel like that'd be confusing for everybody.
Yeah. All right, let's do this. Let's do pro and con, okay? Pro of keeping your name as a woman and keeping your maiden name, and then let's have somebody that is the con side of that. That's like, no, I really think that you should take your husband's name, and this is why. Pro versus con, because I'm on the fence. I could be tilted either way on this. Yeah, I don't have a real passionate position about this, so I want to be convinced. But you got to be good. Pro versus con. 877-91-WALLY. 877-91-WALLY. This is the Wally Show, and we found out about a deal breaker that one of Becca's friends had regarding getting married and switching names.
Right. She wanted to keep her name, and he said, no way, unless you take my name, it's a deal breaker.
So here's what we're doing. Pro and con for women over taking or not taking their husband's last name. So, Kim, are you on the pro side of this?
I'm on the pro side.
Okay, so you think that she should be able to keep her name?
Absolutely. I think it's a good litmus test just to see what kind of guy she's marrying.
Good idea, because that's what you want to do is test your relationship a lot. Guys love that.
Well, obviously, she was spared from this guy because if he's willing to draw a line in the sand over a name, oh my gosh, marriage is so much more than that. But number two, it doesn't have to always be that way. You could start out that way, but down the road you can decide later to go ahead and make the name change. I mean, it doesn't have to be done at that moment.
That is the beauty, though, of changing your name, is you can literally change your name to anything at any point in your life.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Even if what she should do, here's the compromise, I think, is she should change her last name. Honestly, I do think she should change her last name, but just not take his. Just come up with a completely different new last name.
Oh.
That would be awesome. Because how could he get mad about that?
Absolutely.
This is the Wally Show, and Ashley, it's time for pro and con. We've had the pro side of a woman keeping her own name and not taking her husband's last name, and we kind of got on this topic based on Becca's friends, and the guy saying it is a deal breaker if you do not take my last name for getting married. So you are the con side of this. So why should a woman change her name and take her husband's last name?
I just think it's a sign of respect. I mean, if you love this person enough to say, yes, I'm going to marry you, then why not take their last name? I mean, in the situation of, having your own business, it wouldn't be that much trouble to either contact people and let them know, hey, I'm going to be changing my name, or just hyphenate your name for a while.
Hypothetical situation. What if the woman is a published, renowned author with a doctorate? Would you say that she should still change her name?
I mean, it's up to her, but I would. That's just how I am. But then again, I don't like my last name, and I can't wait to change it.
Oh. What is your last name?
It's Hackett.
Hackett? Yeah, I hope you get married soon. Yeah, that would be good.
I'm getting married in June, so...
What are you going to be? What's your new last name going to be?
Cabrera.
Now, there is a trend of people combining names and doing a hybrid last name, apparently. Becca, you know more about this than I do.
Yeah, some couples do it to kind of forge a new name instead of having to pick one name or the other.
Mm-hmm. So, like, if you were going to combine, kind of like doing a celebrity couple name, basically. So you've got Cabrera and Hackett. If you put those two together, you would be Cabracket.
Ooh, I like that.
I kind of like that one.
Oh, Lord, no.
This is the Wally Show, and at church the other day, we had done like a man on the street type video asking people questions about God, like who is he, what is he like, what does he think of you, and then this fill in the blank. I wish God, and then you fill in the blank. And the idea of this question is it might help you zone in on how you see God and how you relate to him. Because like some people answered, I wish God would heal the world. I wish God was part of my daily decisions. I wish God would love a lot more. Like when you hear that answer, you wonder, okay, well, what is it in their life that led them to that viewpoint of God? Because the thing is, when you fill in that blank, I hope that your answer will help you go deeper in your understanding of, what God is or who God is, because with every distortion about God, there's like a corresponding consequence. Like if we blame him for every tragedy, then we don't trust him or his love. If we think that he's angry at us every time that we sin, then we're going to see him as a spiteful God. So like if you answered that question, I wish God would be less spiteful, or judge me less, then it tells you kind of a frame of reference of how you view God and what he is to you. And that might be a healing thing for you to then realize when you go to the Bible and you see who God really is. And that's with the story of him and his love and his faithfulness and all the characteristics of God. That's where that comes to life. So I think this is a vital part of understanding who God is in your life. And we'll have a direct relationship on you and in his relationship. So here's the thing. I want you to fill in this blank right now. I wish God. And then you fill in that blank. Like for me, if I was going to do this, I would say, I wish God would do things my way. Because I'm a control freak. Like I like to control the outcomes of things, and I think that I have the best way. So there's arrogance in that. There's ego in that. I think that I know better than God so many times. And so by me answering that way, it sheds a light on my own self and my own deficiencies and how I probably need to alter that and realize that God's timing and his plan is perfect, and I don't know better than God, but I get it mixed up sometimes, So I want everyone on the show to do one of these as well, and we'll take some of your calls, 877-91-WALL. I'd love to hear your I wish God fill in that blank, but I really want, Zach, Betty, and Becca to weigh in on this as well. So we'll do that within 15 right here on The Wally Show. But again, 877-91-WALL is the number if you want to jump in. This is the Wally Show, and we got our fill-in-the-blank question for you here. I wish God blank, because how you answer this says a lot about how you view your relationship with God or how you view Him. So how would you fill in that blank?
I wish God would literally let me hear Him. Like, you hear people say, I heard the voice of God or something like that. I want to hear the voice of God in my heart.
That's actually similar to mine. Mine was, I wish God could just hang out. Because there are those times where you just feel like you're throwing things up at the ceiling. And I know that's not the case, but you go through those times where you're like, does he hear me?
Yeah.
Is he responding? I have no idea.
Because there are times where you're like, yeah, why does this have to be such a riddle? You know, like, just, I'm trying to find your will, this, that, and the other. Just tell me. Just like pop in and say hi. So I fully understand where you're coming from, sister. Like, I get that. But I've never heard the audible voice of God.
Just a whisper. Sometimes I'm praying so hard, I'm like, was that him? Was that him? And I'm waiting for that. I'm still waiting for that.
And you know what? I do believe he does speak to people still, in that way. That's just not been my experience. For me, I know that it's the voice of God in my head when it's something that I don't think I could come up with, or it's completely not like selfless, or it costs me something. Because those are the things, the hot buttons in my life, that if I'm willing to have it cost me something, or it has, nothing that benefits me, then that's how I know it's God, because I can be selfish as all get out. This is the Wally Show, and it's our fill-in-the-blank question. I wish God, and then you say whatever you want there, and that, I think when you answer that, or you fill in that blank, it will tell you a little bit more, or give you insight into how you view God or your relationship. So, Marcy, how would you fill in that blank? I wish God.
I would say I wish God would answer my prayers faster.
Oh, you're very impatient as well.
Yeah.
And I say as well because that's me too. Like, it's like, God, it's so simple. Here's the answer. Why don't you just do it this way and do it quickly? But in the waiting is where you grow. Honestly, I really have come to believe that over time. If everything was a quick yes answer, you would never go deeper, and you'd never know what it is to trust and wait on God.
And it's kind of the same concept when you're a parent. When a child begs for a toy in the store, you're not going to get it for him right then every single time. You say, okay, wait for Christmas, wait for your birthday. There's purpose in waiting. And I think God does the same thing, because he knows the good. He sees the bigger picture, but we don't get that. We're just throwing the tantrum in the toy aisle.
Yeah, because he knows if you wait just this next month, it's going to be this great moment.
Right.
Yeah. And so many times we don't have that big perspective, but he does. And thank goodness he does, because a lot of times in that waiting is not only where we grow, but he also saves us from ourselves and our own bad decisions a lot of times. This is the Wally Show, and we're filling in a blank here. This came from my church the other day. I wish God blank. And how you fill in that blank says kind of how you view him. And so, Amber, how would you fill that in?
Well, mine's selfish. And honestly, I just wish that God would give more sometimes.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I do. Like, I'm just going to be 100% real with you. I wish sometimes that God would just give more, which is very selfish. But then there's another one. I wish that the Holy Spirit would take over more often for more people as well.
I've totally been there, kind of both sides of that, of whenever there's a big Powerball, I'm like, God, I'll do good with it. If you give me more, I'll give away more.
I appreciate your honesty, because, like, I admit very freely that my thing with God is I'm arrogant and think I know better, and I have to come to grips with that, or I want him to do things my way.
Well, and I think that's our flesh side too, definitely. Like, we always will have that flesh side that we battle, every day.
The place I'm learning to get to, and it's taken me a lot of years, is trying to be content. Because for my whole life, it was always more. And I've seen God's provision. And the thing about it is God says he'll provide, and he's always provided for me. But it's weird, because it's always been either just enough or just under enough to continue to still need him. And it's the most frustrating thing in the world. My God, if you just pour out your coffers, I will serve you freely forever. But he knows that's a lie.
That's exactly, no, but seriously, that's how we think. Like, that's just us, and I think it's cool that he still gives us mercy and he gives us grace as far as that's concerned.
This This is the Wally Show. We're doing a little fill in the blank. You know, this came out of one of our sermons at church the other day. It's like fill in the blank. I wish God, because how you fill that in kind of shows how you see God and your relationship with Him. So, what would yours be, Lori?
I'm going to be 52 in April, and I am just now finding out what God wants me to do, what my purpose is here, what He planned me for.
So you wish God would be more clear about what your purpose is.
Let me know at an early age so I can work and strive towards that my whole life and perfect it for Him.
You know, that's the interesting thing about that, though. Like what you're saying, like you wish you knew so that you could perfect what He wanted you to do.
Well, I know I can't perfect it, but...
Well, no, but I think the point of that is that part of not knowing is God perfecting us inside of it. It's Him working in us, and we always think we have to get to this destination of where we're perfect and serving Him or whatever.
Yeah.
And He's so much more concerned with who we're becoming more than where we're going, I think, in life.
So maybe we get locked up in that.
Like if I had known what God wanted me to do from an early age, I might not would have followed it either, you know, because a lot of times
I would have either.
The path God takes us on is something we don't want to do because it takes us out of our comfort zone.
And I do think we always focus on the outcome of things and the final destination. And I think God wants us to be a lot more concerned about the journey.
Right, and maybe had I not gone through some of those paths, I wouldn't have the wisdom to give to other women now. I would have just liked to know that He was calling me to ministry, though, at an early age. I wouldn't have made so many mistakes.
Well, no, but your message. That's how it works.
These are the least important stories out of Hollywood, but nonetheless entertaining. It's the least of these.
And Betty Rock is going to break it down for you. What's going on?
Shia LaBeouf, he finds strange ways of remaining in the public eye. And on Friday, Shia filmed himself standing in an elevator for 24 hours for some kind of art performance thing in London. Anyways, at one point, a guy comes in and asks him an odd request.
Can you help me with punching me in the face?
I just met you.
Do it, yeah, but we're cool.
He's going to enjoy it.
Nice.
Wait, so this guy walks into the elevator where Shia LaBeouf is. The guy in England says, "Help me out, punch me in the face," and so Shia slaps him.
No, he didn't want to punch him, so the guy was like, "Fine, just slap me."
Oh, okay. Well, I guess if someone is asking for it, okay. But that's weird because then, you know, as a celebrity, like he could get sued or somebody will turn that around on him. But the whole thing is weird. You got Shia saying I'm a performance artist, and this other guy coming in saying I'm a performance artist. They're out performance arting each other, and it's just bizarre.
And he's done weird things like this before. He did a live stream of him watching his own movies for like 3 days straight.
Oh, really?
So he watched every single movie he had ever been in, like starting with Holes all the way through the Transformers and everything.
Oh, that's kind of funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's like a little self-indulgent.
It seems strange that Hillary Clinton is struggling to get the youth vote when she's up against a 74-year-old Bernie Sanders.
How did she become the young gun in this thing? But she is.
Yeah, but all that may be changing soon since Hillary is doing her best to get an endorsement from 18-year-old Kylie Jenner.
Oh, really?
If that works out, I don't know if that's going to work. I guess she sees it as working out for her, but I see it as working against.
I mean, candidates can win by getting the youth vote. I mean, it happens. If kids show up in force, it can change the course of an election. And so maybe that's not the worst thing in the world for her to do. The worst strategy is because the Kardashians and Kylie and Kendall Jenner and stuff like that, they have a platform. As crazy as it is, they have a platform with a very rabid fan base that will do anything they tell them to do. So pretty smart on her part, probably.
Last week, President Obama was spotted at a steakhouse in D.C. with Tom Hanks and Morgan Freeman.
What?
Yeah.
How cool is that?
But eating may have not been on the agenda.
They didn't even order anything. They just closed their eyes and listened to Morgan Freeman read the appetizer.
Artichoke dip. Pineapples. Pulled pork sliders. Tuna carpaccio. Thai lettuce wraps. Gratuity added for parties of 6 or more.
I wish I could just hire Morgan Freeman to read me to sleep. I would just be the best ever. His voice is so distinct and so calming that I feel... Him and Bob Ross. If him and that painter with the big afro, Bob Ross, ever had a TV show, if Bob Ross, God rest his soul, hadn't passed away, I would watch that show, well, not for hours, for minutes till I fell asleep, but it would be the best show ever. So there you go. That is your least of these. Thank you, Miss Rock, as always, for doing such a great job.
Rock what you got, light up the lot. No one can rock the way you rock.
This is the Wally Show, and we're trying to get a hold of our Rock What You Got winner here to let him know the good news. And we just called and got disconnected I'm not 100% sure what happened with that, but Zach tells me we actually have him back up finally and ready to go. Hey, is this Ethan?
Hey, yeah.
Ethan, like we woke him up. He's a rock star already. He's like, I'm not answering this phone this early. Are you insane?
I dropped my phone.
He is a rock star. Yeah. Someone else will pick that up. Well, Ethan, we got to get down to business here. You were part of our Rock What You Got contest going on at allwally.com for a chance to go to Camp Electric, and you were one of our finalists. We had hundreds of kids submit submission videos for this chance to win, and I got to tell you, man, congratulations. You are the winner.
No way.
Yes way, Ethan. You are the winner.
Wow.
A lot of people voted for
gosh.
you. Did you have like your friends and family and stuff voting for you?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so well, they showed up, but then people that aren't even related to you showed up in force, and you won this thing by a few hundred votes, so that's impressive, man.
Wow, that is insane. I honestly didn't expect to win at all.
Wow, you sound like you're making a Grammy speech. Nicely done.
Holy cow.
Well, you kind of looked like a rock star sitting at the piano with all your bracelets. I respect that as a man who wears bracelets himself. So, congratulations. You are the big winner. You are getting a scholarship to Camp Electric, where you're going to come to Nashville and rock what you got there.
That's awesome. Thank you so much.
Now, my daughter goes every year. She's kind of like the queen of Camp Electric. Like, she has been like 5 years and loves it. So have you ever seen a picture of my daughter?
I have not.
Good. Let's keep it that way.
Careful how you answer this one, Ethan.
Exactly, Ethan. You stay away from my daughter, all right? Well, congratulations, man. I'm excited for you, and I think this will be a great experience, man, as you learn, more about being a great musician, but also about being like a great believer and a great man. So congratulations, Ethan. I hope you have a great time. And what did I say about my daughter again? No, not stay away from her. Remember that part.
All right.
Well, that's the podcast. And as always, thank you so much for listening and being a loyal potty.